curious. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have game number 2, HanDy versus TerrOr on Pathfinder. Here we go. Is HanDy actually going to play Terran again? Or is he in fact a race picker, as some people have been telling me? In the 12 o'clock position as the orange Terran, we do have HanDy. And in the bottom right is the yellow Terran, we have TerrOr. So it is going to be a TBT yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for a potentially long game. Whoopsie daisies, what did I just do? PTMR! Don't know what that means. Okie dokie. So, TerrOr, I mean, he won pretty convincingly there. Going for the 1 port, 1 fact siege tank cloak wraith combo against HanDy's just 1 fact FE, and getting a nice contain off and just kind of squeezing the life out of his opponent. So let's see. I don't think you can do something quite like that on this map. I mean, Pathfinder, you know, the air distances are very, very close. It's much easier to do some kind of, you know, mass dropship play. I'm trying to think about the architecture. I think the outside the natural is a lot wider, so it's perhaps not quite as easy to contain. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like TBT on this map would be quite funny because there's not that many nice choke points, I think. It's just like kind of a weird path set of, like, I don't know, pathing dynamics. I'm not really sure what to call it. It's just a weird map in general. And it looks like HanDy's gonna build a barracks kind of on the edge of his base. TerrOr's just gonna build it right next to his command center. He doesn't really care. So that is fine. No big deal. Both players getting their gases. So no silly 1-racks FE shenanigans. Actually, I shouldn't say silly, since Project does it like every game and he wins a ton of games. So, but it is gonna be factory before expansion. And I'm just adjusting my chair a little bit. It's funny because like as these games go on, like my chair somehow just like gets further and further away from the screen, and I end up sitting in weird positions. So, gotta fix my posture. Anyways, it looks like TerrOr's actually messed up his scout. I think he actually misclicked and clicked too far to the right there. So he actually has to fix it. And is he gonna see? Are they gonna see each other? They kind of do. So TerrOr is gonna fix his scout path. And looks like HanDy also is not 100% sure where to click into the main because he's going in a weird direction. Did he actually change to the wrong direction? Oh well, that's actually really unfortunate for HanDy. He actually changed to the wrong direction. Whereas TerrOr changed to the right direction, so TerrOr's going to be pretty happy about that. In the meantime, we have the factory. Marine's gonna chase this guy. Is TerrOr actually gonna go for the Marine kill again? That'd be sick. And looks like TerrOr is still mining gas, and HanDy is also still mining gas. So it looks like it's not a 1-fact expand this time. And with these 2 Marines, it's impossible for TerrOr to actually assault one of these Marines with his SCV again. Looks like HanDy's SCV is finally going to get over here, but it's going to get denied by these 3 SCVs, or sorry, these 3 Marines. So I think he's going to be pretty unhappy about that. And oh, nice reaction, pulling that SCV away just in time. And TerrOr's SCV is barely surviving with 1 hit. Oh, it slowed down just for a second there. HanDy will keep his scouting SCV alive. And looks like HanDy actually is going for just a 1-racks expand here, despite the fact that he's still mining gas. So he's going to have a lot of excess gas for the time being. But I don't think you mind that too much on TBT, since later on you will be able to spend that quite quickly. In the meantime, TerrOr also expanding, but he's going to build the command center in his base. So the timing is actually almost identical. TerrOr's is just a hair faster, but then he's going to have to float it out, so then it'll kind of negate that. Anyway, looks like we do have siege tanks with siege mode and siege tank. But a second factory before siege mode from HanDy. And that's interesting. So, I mean, in very low numbers, if you're talking like, you know, 3 or 4 tanks or less, siege mode actually isn't a huge advantage. Non-siege tanks, as long as you spread them out, can take on sieged tanks. But I mean, that does perhaps open up some possibilities of, once again, TerrOr going for some kind of fast siege contain if he does nice positioning and uses his marines to buffer or something like that. I'm not sure if he'll, you know, be able to hit that timing. I don't think he'll go for it. That's pretty narrow. And actually, having said that though, HanDy is still not getting siege mode. Does he have it already? Did I just miss it? I don't think I did. Anyway, TerrOr's got his natural command center landed now, and HanDy's just now transferred probes, or sorry, SCVs. What am I saying? So yeah, I think they're gonna be just fine. Everything is even. A couple of siege tanks just gonna siege the attacking path. And TerrOr's actually gonna use his barracks to go and scout HanDy's base. Looks like HanDy actually went for double machine shops here. He's actually getting Goliath range instead of siege mode, which is very interesting. He's also getting a starport, whereas TerrOr has gotten just armory, academy, standard stuff. No second machine shop. Oh, he's actually just only got his second factory, so I guess he can't have his second machine shop already. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? Looks like he's going to chase the barracks out. I don't think... Will they be able to make it burning? If they make it start to burn, that'll actually be quite annoying for TerrOr. He's going to have to send an SCV out to repair it. Meanwhile, his own barracks has been chased out of the base of TerrOr. I'm actually just looking at this map architecture. I didn't actually quite know that this cliff extended so far up from the main. That's actually quite interesting. What about here? Yeah, this one also kind of extends as well. It makes me feel like, as a TerrOr player, like in TVP, it's quite easy to siege here and kind of have coverage of the main, or sorry, of the middle of the map. Seems a little bit imba. In any case, TerrOr has an SCV at the top. HanDy's an SCV here. Is he gonna make a command center? Ooh, HanDy. Taking a pretty fast third base here. How many units does he actually have? He's got 1 Goliath, 2 Goliaths, and those are 3 Goliaths and 3 siege tanks, and a couple of marines. So not many units at all. So playing a little bit greedy. And TerrOr's SCV is kind of meandering along here, just taking long coffee breaks in between walks. He just actually needs to go over to the 9 o'clock and scout that base. TerrOr is going up to 4 factories though. Is that a second machine shop? That is a second machine shop. And it's going to be against the 2 factories and starport of HanDy. Now see, this is why this position is cool, because you can like siege into the middle of the map from within your main. But TerrOr is making a move out. This looks almost like identical to last game, where TerrOr is the aggressor and he's just moving out with a decent sized force of siege tanks, and he's just going to go and kind of hard contain his opponent. Although last game, I really hesitate to call it a hard contain because of you know how few tanks he used. And it looks like TerrOr is actually just going to siege up on HanDy's natural right now, and HanDy's first going to lose his barracks. But why does he have no siege tanks here? Oh man, HanDy was going for drops. He double expanded and went for fast drops, which I think might have been a little bit too greedy. I mean, if TerrOr had not made this attack and had not punished him for it, that the drops might have been a good way to keep TerrOr back and keep that base alive. But as it stands, HanDy's natural is now under siege, and I'm not sure what HanDy can do about it. He might try and drop the tanks onto the other siege tanks. It looks like he is going to load them up. Is he just going to do that, or is he going to counterattack, or what is he going to do? He forgot one of the siege tanks. Looks like he's going to just try and siege out of range there, and it looks like, oh man, a siege tank getting blown up, and it looks like HanDy is at least going to keep his natural alive. So that's actually quite good for HanDy for holding that. So, and look at this, TerrOr's actually lost most of his forces. So I'd say actually HanDy is in not a terrible position right now. Meanwhile, this base is up, he's getting the geyser. Once he starts mining gas from that, he's going to have a pretty nice advantage. Meanwhile, the double Vulture upgrades, getting an engineering bay. HanDy is getting +1. Some turrets around his base. Ooh, I like this turret ring. Well, it's not really a turret ring, it's like 2-3 turrets. But, you know, as I said, it's very easy to drop on this map. And if you look at the way the main is facing, the main base of HanDy is actually just facing TerrOr's base, TerrOr's attack path rather, so it would be kind of easier for TerrOr to drop the back of his main. Meanwhile, HanDy is going to just secure this base with a couple of siege tanks. Might want to leave an SCV or something, giving him vision to the other side of this wall. Otherwise, it's not the most useful position, as you can see. You can't really see anything. In the meantime, a random depot at the side. Random turret as well. TerrOr's just... I don't know what these buildings are on the right side. Perhaps just going to scout for any sneaky drops or Vulture run-bys or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. 88 supply for TerrOr against 78 of HanDy. But HanDy has his third base. And oh, look at this. TerrOr actually also made his ring of buildings. Turrets and depots. And I don't know if TerrOr's even aware. I heard some comms that's going down. Is TerrOr aware of this third base right now? Because if this stays up for too long, I mean, even though TerrOr's a supply lead right now, HanDy's going to overpower him eventually. I mean, he has to do something. Looks like he is moving out for an attack. Some more units coming in. Barracks floating along as well. A couple of siege tanks, nicely positioned siege tanks. And a random turret as well. Turrets at both entrances. Actually, just gonna block any units from moving in there. So TerrOr is moving out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 siege tanks. He's at 100 supplies. A little bit supply blocked right now. He should be expanding behind this, I think, though. Is there any command center? Yes, there is a command center being built. So he's probably going to expand over here to the top right. But it looks like these 3 siege tanks are going to stop him. And no, he's actually going into the natural right now. There's only 2 siege tanks here. It looks like HanDy was actually geared up to go for a drop. And it looks like all the siege tanks are going to siege up once again. Is it going to be enough? Uh-oh. HanDy suddenly in a bit of trouble. It looks like his forces were stretched too thin and he was unsieged. I thought he had a good position, but just at the wrong moment he actually loaded up into the dropships. And HanDy's in a lot of trouble right now. Spider Mine's gonna take out his siege tank. A couple of siege tanks on the cliff there, but his natural command center is going to go down here. And Vultures are in his main, taking down his SCVs. Uh-oh, is HanDy not even gonna lift? It looks like HanDy's not even gonna lift. He's gonna lose a natural command center, and Vulture's still in the main, wreaking havoc. Is that mine gonna trigger on something? Oh, it looks like it won't. But wow. So, you know, even though that third base was up, it doesn't matter. HanDy's back down to 2 bases, and TerrOr's getting his third command center up. And is looking in a very nice position. Looks like nicely placed siege tanks on this main ledge, though, are going to cut off a lot of reinforcements. Meanwhile, 2 dropships, though, of HanDy going in the back. There's 3 siege tanks among them. Is it going to be enough? Where's he actually going with these? I mean, there's a nice turret ring, and dropship's taking some damage. Oh man, if he loses a dropship, it's got tanks in it! He's actually going to drop behind the natural. He's dropping behind the natural. This is spotted by a supply depot, and it looks like TerrOr. Is he paying attention? He's going to lose some SCVs right now, but he is still holding his position at the natural, and he's also sieging the third base of HanDy. So HanDy's going to be mining in only his main. It looks like HanDy's just going to kill a siege tank with SCVs, but he's denying mining in TerrOr's natural, so TerrOr's also only mining his main. Both players reduced to only mining in their main base, but HanDy GG's with a 15-kill Vulture in his mineral line. HanDy GG's out. Oh my goodness. I am glad I caught that one at the end. And what a chaotic ending, but TerrOr will advance 2-0 to the next round. He has qualified for the 12-man group stage. HanDy is eliminated from this tournament, but he will be able to play in any of the upcoming 3 for another chance to qualify. So, that concludes today's cast.